Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So today's upload is going to be a video about a discussion video, and we're going to be talking about how a La Nina could be impacting this fall. So at this point it seems like most likely La Nina will be occurring. It's not guaranteed, but it seems it's leaning further and further towards that possibility. And again, we'll be talking about what are the impacts for the fall, not the winter, just for the fall, because winter is a bit farther away, but fall, I mean, meteorologically, we have only 1 month left of summer, and that's really not awfully that much in terms of climatology predictions far out. So let's get into this video. If you guys would like to subscribe to this channel, that would be amazing. I do all sorts of weather-related content. I'm a hobbyist, not a meteorologist, so just keep that in mind. This is mainly for the fun of it. This isn't to really bring a forecast to you. I mean, if you want to watch it for a forecast, go ahead, but again, I'm not a professional. And if you would like to like the video, if you're a returning fan, viewer, whatever you consider liking, and that would be awesome. So let's get into this. So first off, I want to show you what the predictions are for the Enzo. Since I mentioned a La Nina, I just want to show you that's what's forecasted to happen. You can see September, October, November. It's most likely to be a La Nina. It's gonna that transition is going to happen anywhere between August and October. And I know that's a big timeline, unfortunately. When it comes to climatology and ocean temperatures, it's really tough to predict sometimes, and especially get the time frame right, let alone the actual outcome. You could see August through October, it's most likely going to develop a La Nina, and it's going to stay through much of the winter, it seems, and by the time early to late spring, we could get out of the La Nina pattern into back of a neutral. But as of now, it seems like a La Nina is most likely, and again, it looks like a pretty non-confident forecast, but really, it's our best bet, if you will. And if a neutral does end up occurring, I'll make a video about, if a neutral ends up being the more likely scenario, I'll do a video about what does a neutral mean for fall. But at this point, it seems more of a La Nina is going to be occurring. And I want to show you some Climate Prediction Center models that are showing, you can see the averages are showing a borderline or weak La Nina. So definitely not a strong La Nina, it seems, at this time in August. It doesn't seem like a strong La Nina will be occurring at all. It seems like a more of a weak to barely, barely a La Nina. And you can see there's models. Here is where La Nina starts at -0.5. Is below average. The La Nina is basically another word for saying that the sea surface temperatures off the coast of South America, the western coast, are 0.5 degrees below average. And you can see that we are here right now into June. We are almost there, but some models are taking their sweet little time. You can see some are really dipping it far. I mean, one model is just showing into a -2, which is just not going to happen. It doesn't seem at this point. And you can see many are showing it into that neutral zone, while some are showing it into the barely La Nina. So there's a lot of there's a huge spread with the Climate Prediction Center models, and this is for that Nino 3.4 region, which is just a certain region of the Enzo. They're keeping it pretty borderline, and notice that as we get further into the winter, it seems like there's a trend of getting out of the La Nina. You can see how most models start getting into a positive slope, start pointing upwards and indicating towards more of a possible a neutral, or a few are even showing an El Nino, but it doesn't seem like that will be the case. But let's see as to what the CFS models are showing. And this is basically for the Nino 3.4 region as well. And you can see that they're showing a more confident outcome. They're showing that most by the time mid-August into September comes along, we're looking at a La Nina, and we see a few models stem away, pointing towards a neutral into December, January, February. But the majority of the models, we have over 16 models. We have showing actually a relatively moderate La Nina, not even a weak one, a moderate one, which may be a bit overdone, but you can see that the confidence is much higher. And again, we are getting towards that placement where we're getting pretty close to La Nina now, but not quite yet. Now I wanted to show you what a La Nina pattern does during the winter time. So usually a La Nina pattern during the winter time, we have a blocking high pressure across the Gulf of Alaska. This sends the jet stream to the north and kind of brings the cooler air down into the United States, and that really brings in warm temperatures here, but really cooler temperatures into the northwest and northern United States. Wet and warm across the south, but if you get those two mixings, we could see some bigger storms across the Ohio the Ohio Valley and especially the Northeast, so that's definitely something to keep an eye on for. But again, this is about the fall pattern. So for fall, I had to do my own little research about analogs and show you, I guess, what is going to occur. So first off, I just want to quickly go back to this presentation and show you what's been occurring. So we we started off the year with an El Nino, we got into a neutral, and we're forecasted to go into a La Nina. So with that being said, I looked at previous years, all the way back to 1950, and I looked at them and wanted to see if I could find similar years to to 2020 this year. So the closest year I found out in similarity was really the 2010-2011 year, El Nino, neutral, La Nina. But the reason that I didn't use this year is because it was a pretty strong La Nina. I got into a moderate to strong La Nina, negative 1.7, 1.6. I don't think it'll get that strong this year, so I decided to exclude it. Now, the closest one is the 2007-2008, which it just cuts this off at 2008. But if we were to go here, we could find them all the way back to 1950. The point being, I looked at all those years and decided to see what those falls looked like, similar years to this year, what those falls looked like, and what were their anomalies. I looked through all the years that I could, and these are years I got that are very similar to this year: 2005, 2007, 2016, 1984, 1983, 1974, 1995. And you could see that the August through October time frame was warm, and really I should have included November in this. But I did in another image. I think this is just a bit of a. I'll show you November, I think, in just a minute. But overall, a very warm pattern, and it doesn't look as if a much cold air is occurring at all. Anywhere, if the cold air does occur anywhere, it's going to be across the northwestern United States and to the northern United States. But again, I mean, you could see that the warm temperatures are pretty darn dominant across much of the United States, and that seems to be the case because I looked at these years, you know, these 2005, all these years, and I looked at their Julys, so kind of like comparing it to this year's July that just occurred, and all of those Julys were very, very warm as well. And this year was almost a record-breaking July on many levels. I mean, we've had so much heat in Chicago. I think we've had exactly the whole month, not a single day was below average. Not a single day was below average. I mean, that's just a ridiculous anomaly. So that just goes to show you that this trend is holding. And if I were to play this through, you can see this is August by itself. Very warm, so that's what leads me to think that this August may be also pretty warm August. We're going to see a few days of chill at the beginning, all the way through the 10th. It looks as if there's going to be a cool wave, but otherwise after that, it looks as if things will warm up, and it supports that thing, and the analog support that. You could see anywhere if it is cooler, it's across maybe the Four Corners area, but it looks as if it'll be warm there this August as well, and maybe across the Northwest. And if you were to look, again, here's the image I showed you. Let's now move on to October. You can see very warm as well. Just a lot of heat, a lot of oranges, a lot of yellows, very minimal blue. It just looks like an overall very warm summer. September was the coolest month, if you will, out of all of them. It still wasn't really cool. It just had, I guess, the most blue showing across the maps, across the Northwest and Northern United States. Still generally warm across the eastern and into the Southwest. And then I also just looked at, you know, I did that with their, I wanted to show you actually the precipitation for these years. Let's look at the precipitation. You can see all the similar years, August through November. This one I included November in. You can see we have a lot of just blue spots more than yellow, so I guess more above average precipitation, but it isn't really as, I guess, uniform. There isn't like a certain region with it, which has more, I guess, the Northwest maybe, but otherwise it's, I guess, more random, if you will. And precipitation, again, I said this again, I said it and I'll say it again, it's really hard to predict, and it's harder definitely than temperatures because it's very more variant. We could have, you know, a tropical storm that comes through that really brings things up. A couple of thunderstorms that bring the average up. So definitely something that's a bit more harder to predict. I also looked at just the weak La Ninas overall, you know, kind of ignoring this year's pattern and just to see if that trend was similar. And you can see there's more years into this, August through November, and you can see just, again, very, very warm conditions. This one has even less cool weather. again, it seems like a warm fall is ahead of us. And unfortunately, if you clicked on this video thinking that I'll be talking about a cool fall, it does not seem like that's the case. It looks as if a warm fall is on the way. And the winter, I stand strongly or pretty firmly that the winter maybe has a really good chance of being below average for the northern U.S. But really, the fall it's not showing the signs, and it looks as if it will be pretty darn warm across much of the United States. So, thank you guys so much for watching. This year seems to be warm this fall, and that seems to be on par with what the climate prediction has to say, NOAA, and with the Weather Channel, and I agree with them, which is a good thing always. So, thank you so much for watching. Consider liking the video, consider subscribing to the channel. I'll catch you all guys on the next episode. See ya. Bye.